Hey fellow VOD dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today we are taking a closer look on one of the coolest looking out of all the new weapons. Yes, the snake-like flamer, the boiling point. And there is one thing I'm disappointed about this weapon. When you fire it, the flame is standard red. I was really hoping it will be green. That would be something. If this weapon, snake-like weapon, look at this beauty, would fire a green flame, I would use it, even if there would be no special effects. Now, the weapon itself is solid, mainly because of the 4-star. When a combat target is burning, deal 50% bonus damage, and this is huge. In case of a flamer, of course, every target will be burning as there is a fire dot, so it will be burning. The effects on the weapon, unfortunately, not as amazing. There is Furious on the 1st star, so up to 45% bonus damage when you're hitting the same target consistently. Bash damage bonus, not really useful for the weapon. Reload speed, semi-useful for the weapon. Then additional 2 effects that are not counted as stars, but additional 2 legendary effects. Reduce durability by 5. How big of a problem that would be? Probably not too big. Then poison resist. That's not extra poison damage. That poison resist. If this number would be bigger, like 250, I would really enjoy this weapon for occasional poison resistance use case. But it's only 25. It is a lot if you have 0 poison resist. If you already have relatively high poison resist, it's not so great. It does work, so if I show you my stats, 331 poison resist. If I change a weapon to the Holy Fire that we'll be comparing with, it's 306. So it does work. The poison resist does work. Now the stats, comparison to a Holy Fire. As it drops without changes to legendary effect, modified with Napalm Tank, as this is important. Napalm need to be equipped that's increasing the damage for all flamers. Holy Fire and the Boiling Point are flamers. Now, the Holy Fire has a hidden bonus to fire rate and the damage, so that makes it step higher. And Holy Fire can be rerolled for better legendary mods, so that's one of my Holy Fire that I made 4-star with anti-armor, weapon speed, at this moment damage resistance while reloading. I will swap it later. I don't have a mod I want yet. And lastly, when a combat target is burning, 50% bonus damage, so that's Pyromaniac. So Holy Fire can be fully customized, with exception of skin. That's the only problem. Holy Fire cannot have a changed skin, as well as Boiling Point cannot have a different skin installed, and Boiling Point you can only modify a regular mod, so Napalm Tank. As you notice, I have standard barrel on them all. At this moment, long barrel doesn't really do anything, and change to the nozzle will cut down on range greatly. But enough talking about the weapon. Let's go for some action and compare it to Holy Fire. First stock, and then 4-star Holy Fire. How does it keep up? I'm on my Raid Runner build, so that's Heavy Gunner, full health. So we are inside Westek fighting level 100 Super Mutant with the Boiling Point. As you can see, the damage numbers very quickly jump up. 2 effects, Furious, ramping up our damage, and second effect that increases damage versus burning targets. So performance is really good versus those enemies. Now if we compare to a stock Holy Fire that by default is Vampire faster fire rate, so we don't have a Furious effect, no 4-star, so that's just a Holy Fire, no 4-star, nothing like that. It's really annihilating them still. Even without all those extra effects, it's annihilating them. There should be a little bit more. Where are they? Quick annihilation, the really high damage numbers when they are firing at me. That's of course taking one for the team kicking in. So if I shoot early, It's a little bit less damage than the boiling point can push, but it's a vampire. And that's the boiling point. The dot itself on the weapon is not impressive. The damage when they fire at me, really good. Now, the real comparison. When I equip anti-armor, 4-star Holy Fire. So that's the full power Holy Fire. So let's see. Let me show you how that performs. So even without them firing at me, it's already doing higher damage than a boiling point. See the damage numbers? Up to 140. Kicking it really high. If they fire me first, so those damage are in 200s with way higher fire rate. So it's absolutely mean beast. It's destroying everything. Damage-wise, unfortunately, if you can afford to get a 4-star Holy Fire, it will destroy the boiling point in performance competition. So this is kind of disappointing, the reality of it. And he's really firing at me. Is that this guy able to fire from over there? Can get it through the window, there we go. The best thing about the boiling point, and unfortunately, that's in common with a lot of new weapons. The best thing about the boiling point is the fact that you can scrap it and get this special effect, but you cannot extract the skin. That's so disappointing. I love it. Like, the skin is so amazing. And if we could just add a green flame to that, like those tires you see here, like this skin is so beautiful. I love it. I love the skin. And unfortunately, you cannot make this weapon best in slot flamer. There is not an option. Holy Fire is, and Holy Fire skin is way worse. So how we do? We can extract the 4-star legendary, we cannot extract the skin, and we cannot modify it. Please, Bethesda, at some point, can you do something about it? Like, that's such a disappointment. I will occasionally still use that for a trash mobs. Its performance is good. It works. It just cannot compete with Holy Fire. Cannot even compete with a regular flamer that you modify with proper 4-star effects. So that's the big disappointment. The weapon itself is craftable as plan is dropping, and crafting costs only 2 modules, so we can mass produce this weapon in purpose to then scrap it and unlock your 4-star legendary mod or drop mod boxes. So that's the real use case for this weapon. Crafting with super duper hopefully, and then scrapping so we can trigger even more crafts. That's the purpose of this weapon. Cannot compete with Holy Fire, not even close in properly modded Holy Fire performance. So my anti-armor Holy Fire will blow it out of the water. But difference in look, like that's the Holy Fire. And that's the boiling point. Boiling point looks like a beast. Holy Fire looks like someone found it in the scrapyard. And yeah, what do you think? Let me know. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching, and see you all in the next one.